You're welcome, man.
28. Uh-huh. 28 is a weird one. Because it's backwards. So what we would normally see here is p squared minus 144 equals 0, but what we have instead is 144 minus p squared equals 0. So there's two different ways that you can do this problem. One is just the way we normally have been. Is this 144 positive or negative?
Positive.
So what do I have to do to get rid of it? Subtract it. So I can do just like we've been doing and subtract 144 from both sides. So those would cancel. And then what would I have left on the left-hand side of the equation?
-1.
Negative p squared equals, nope, negative 144. Now you might be inclined to say no solution because it's a negative number, but this isn't what p squared equals, it's what negative p squared equals. So before I try to take the square root, I need to get rid of this negative sign. How would you do that? What? Yeah, make them both positive. So the negative p squared becomes a positive p squared, and the negative 144 becomes a positive 144. So what are your answers now? Or?
That's kind of mental math.
Okay. The other way that you could do this, which might be easier, is from the very beginning. Instead of subtracting 144 from both sides, what could I do instead? What? I could add p squared. I could start out by adding p squared. So those would cancel, and then I would get right to the chase. 144 equals p squared. Not that, I mean like, you know, right to the heart of the matter. And then...
So would 30 be no solution or negative?
I don't know, because I just finished 28. I haven't even had a chance to like catch my breath. I'm so worn out from doing all that algebra. You're already asking me more questions. Your thirst for knowledge is unquenchable.
They can hear you.
The voices in your head? Yeah.
No. They.
Romanian. Oh, really? It said...
You just said we took notes.
Well, oh, okay. Well, when we take notes, there's usually an assignment.
What's the quiz?
Katie, can you tell Lexi what the assignment was? From you? Who said, hey, Alyssa, did you say number 29 then? Okay, what is the problem with that? Where did you get hung up? Okay, so you tell me what you did to start. We have 29, this is 2r squared minus 32 equals 0. So what was your first step?
Well, I didn't know.
I know, but just tell me what you tried to do first. Okay, so that gives you r squared minus 16 equals 0. Okay, now what? Number 30 is in fact no solution. Okay, Jolena, you said originally which one? 33 through 36.
Number 26, no solution.
Because everybody loves a good word.
26 has a solution. Yeah. 0.5.
Everyone loves word problems, that's right.
Oh, no. Yeah, plus 1. Do it. No, he's not.
I'm going to do 33, and that's the same as 32. So if you pay attention to 33, you should be able to figure out 32 on your own. All right, so that square has an area of 35 square feet. Well, we need to figure out the length of the side. So give me a variable I can use for the side. X. But it's a square, right? So if that side is x, what's this side? Also x. So how do I find the area of a square? I times them together. So x times x is x squared, and that has to equal 75. So if x squared equals 75, how do I figure out what x is? I take the square root, okay? Now, this is the first one where the answer does not come out to be a whole number, which is why in the directions it says, if necessary, round to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to get out my little calculator, I'm going to take the square root of 75, I'm going to round it to the nearest tenth, which would be 8.7, include your units, feet. Meters is for number 32. Okay?
So do you do the same thing in number 32?
You do the same thing in number 32. Yeah, number 34, however, is a little bit different because now it's not a square, it's a circle. It's a circle. And they tell you, again, that the area of this one is 90 square centimeters. But a circle ain't got no sides. So its formula is not x squared. How do you find the area of a circle? Pi r squared. Okay? Which one of those numbers do we know?
Area.
The area they told us is 90. Right. Right. So we know 90 and we know pi. So to figure this out, I can start by dividing both sides by pi. So r squared equals 90 divided by 3.1415, whatever. 9, yeah, which is, I don't know what. 28.662. Okay, so again, if r squared equals that, just like s squared in the last, or x squared in the last problem, what do I do to figure out what r is? I take the square root of both sides. Francis, can you tell me what the square root of 28.662 is? Okay, go for it.
5.35.
Ah, but it said round to the nearest 10. So 5.35 would round to 5.47. Okay? So just a couple of different ways that you can use this square rooting stuff. All right? Okay, 35 and 36 also? Yes, Captain? All right, 35. You have enough paint to cover an area of 50 square feet. What's the side length of the largest square that you can paint, in case you just wanted to take your paint and just paint the random square? Now you would know. So that is the same thing as the other ones. You can paint an area of 50 square feet. I need to figure out what the side lengths are going to be. So since it's a square, that means that x squared equals 50. 50. 7.07, which rounds to 7.1 feet. So in case you're curious, if you have enough paint to paint 50 square feet and you wanted to just make a square and paint it, 7.1 feet on each side.
Now you have enough paint to cover.
Oh, now we have enough paint to cover 100 square feet. What are you talking about? Oh, now I have enough shrubs, but it's a circle. Okay. So same deal as the other one that we did.
I'm not like this.
You should like circles. They're so pretty. Okay, so you have enough shrubs to fill in a 100 square foot circular area. So before you lay out your circular garden, you need to know what the radius of that garden should be. So just like on the problem that we did, number 34, what's the, right, I'm going to divide it by pi because I know that 100 is going to equal pi times the radius squared. So to solve that for the radius, my first step is to divide by pi. So r squared equals 31 point what? 309. And then how do I figure out what r is? Square root both sides. What's that? 5 point, don't know. You just guessing? I didn't guess them on the 5, I knew the 5. What's, oh my goodness. 5.6. Francis? Why did you get a different answer for this than Nolan?
How could I change the button?
Because he used the pi button and you used 3.14. Oh, well then never mind.
Convention button, I see it right here.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
What's 27?
The number that comes after 26? 9 times 3?
Oh.
Oh, it's not going to be a whole number, so that's a calculated question. 5 point something. Okay. All right, will you guys trade your papers, please?